gonna take this because I'm not that tall. And I was okay with the program as stated. I didn't know I was gonna have to go after chemo. I can't sing, y'all, and I don't have a video. And so I just came to tell my story. So my story starts a couple years ago. On a day, like many of you have probably had, where you have that wonderfully awful experience of starting a new job. I say wonderfully awful because it's exciting, right? You meet new people, you see new colleagues, that's a wonderful part. That also sometimes can be the super awful part of starting a new job. That's the stuff that doesn't come up in the interview. And for me, all of the settings of those wonderfully awful first days have been kind of off of K Street, you know, straight out the blue line, somewhere between McPherson Square, Farragut West, for those of you all who know DC. Right? Like, most of you probably work down there. We might have been on the Metro together. I gave up on Metro. I'm driving now, so judge me if you want. But I live in the food desert, so I got to get where I get. This particular first day at a national nonprofit that shall not be named and should not be embarrassed, but will not be named tonight, my manager, in order to welcome me, decided we should have a bagel party. Now, I've never been to a bagel party. This is my first bagel party. I'm used to like donuts in the basement of a church type of situations, not bagel parties. And this is a little before everybody went gluten-free, so bear with me. So we start the bagel party. I'm ready for all of the traditional questions that people ask you on that wonderful first day. Like, hey, you know, like where'd you come from before this? And where'd you go to school? And what do you do? And do you have some hobbies? And all of that went well. Normal, cool, no, nothing was a surprise. But then someone said, well, where are you from? And I said, well, I'm from DC. And she looked at me confused, and she said, well, no one's from DC. What? And I will say I am actively working on my condition, which is my face. Because I make a lot of faces. And it always betrays kind of what I'm thinking. And I thought in that moment, how is this woman from Kentucky telling me that no one is from DC? Like you came here to live where I live, right? Like I don't know how many people live in Kentucky, but we're not even talking like Louisville, Lexington, Kentucky. We're talking like Appalachia, right? But no one's from DC. So I had all these thoughts, and I'm thinking, well, everybody I care about is from DC. My mom's from DC, and my grandma's from DC, and my great-grandmother is even from DC. And people I know say, well, I am a fifth-generation Washingtonian. I'm a fourth-generation Washingtonian. I'm a whatever generation Washingtonian, and they are so proud to be from DC, and I could not think how this woman could have possibly never, ever met anyone from DC in DC. So let me rewind a little bit. So earlier that day, and I told you I'm driving now, but at that point, I used to catch the Metro to work. It's a straight shot. I go from Bennett Road to yeah, you know, we're out here. I go from Bennett Road, Ward 7, that's my Metro stop, to McPherson Square at that point every day. And at that point, you couldn't buy smart trips everywhere. So you would go to like either Safeway, CVS, or certain Metro stations to buy smart trips. So I stopped at CVS to get a new smart trip so I can enroll in the transit benefits, to do the whole pre-tax thing. And I run into a familiar face, and we have a whole conversation. And that was the first person I had seen that day who I knew, right? Most comfortable face to me. I went to high school with that person, and he sold me my smart trip. He wasn't the manager, right? He wasn't a franchise owner. He sold me my smart trip. And I thought to myself, well, this CVS is a block away from my job. And this woman had to come in here and get something. I mean, like, something. I don't know, a pen, a bobby pin, a pad, I don't know, a cup of soup or something. And she's never met anyone from DC. I thought to myself, she's also had to stop and get coffee, or she's had to stop and get lunch. And I wonder if she speaks to those people when they call her name and she picks up her latte. Most of them probably did not move to DC for a job. They are from DC, but she just didn't see us. This is the same city where I graduated from high school, where we have DC public schools, which often end up being the topic of conversation every single place. Those are kids, they might be from DC. We have hospitals where babies are born, but no one is from DC. And so I thought, how can it be true that when I graduated from college, my friends there said to me, oh, we're so great you're from DC. DC's recession proof, right? It's amazing. Or I'm gonna go there and work on the Hill. Or I'm gonna go there and do this fellowship. Or I'm gonna go there and go to grad school. And they still think you're the only person I know from DC. And the people who I graduated from high school with, or went to middle school with, or elementary school with, look at the same 10 square miles and don't see any opportunity. They see it as a place of permanent recession where people don't see them. There's only, honestly, one reason that both of those truths can be absolutely true is because we choose who to see any single day. We choose who we invest in. And the truth is, we've chosen that people who are from DC, who will be here whether it's a recession, who will be here whether Obama's the president, Trump is the president, or whoever is the next person, who are not in those movies that are like the CIA thrillers, or that are based at the White House, or when they blow the whole DC up, they don't even see us. We will be here. We're the same people who have one of the lowest high school graduation rates in the country and live in the most educated city per capita. We have more PhDs per capita in the same city because those are not the same people. And so I would offer that opportunity isn't enough, and that investment matters, and that we make a choice who we see and who we don't. Not literally by our eyesight, but where our heart is. And so I know you all are my people, and some of you are from DC. And for those of you who are not, just remember, the next time you start a happy hour, and you have that conversation and you say, oh, well, what do you do? And where did you come from? And I say to you, or my sisters, or my mom, or my cousins, or anybody else says to you, where they're from DC, just don't say to them, no one's from DC. Just say, nice to meet you. And I'm so happy I met you. Thank you.